I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Stuff happening, Life
Yeah.
stuff happens.
No, it's not just you though, right? Like we didn't do one last week. Keenan and I were both around and we were both just not feeling it. And I
Oh,
don't
really?
know,
Yeah.
and I don't think that anybody wants to listen to a podcast with a couple of guys just,
Yeah. Forcing it.
like I think you and I tried to do that once. And we
Yeah.
were just like, that episode was shit.
Yeah.
Right. So, if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Right.
Yeah, man.
But today,
It's happening. Oh, yeah.
happening today. I'm excited.
What are you excited about?
Dude, everything.
Oh,
Life's
good.
so good.
Okay, good. Me too.
Can I tell you today? This is a proud father moment, okay?
Oh, you got a lot of those lately, man. I'm jealous.
Oh, dude, she's growing so hard. It's so good.
She's growing so hard.
Yeah. So she plays baseball. And it's kids baseball. You're learning, right?
Yeah.
And so the league that she's in is 5 pitch. So regardless whether it's foul or ball or what, like you get 5 pitches, and the coach pitches to you. So it's, relatively moderate pitches, predictable pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And she, at the start of the season, had like this super weak swing. Like she can't catch worth anything. She can't throw. Like not embarrassing. She's little, right?
Yeah.
And then so every once in a while we'll go out to the park and we'll play catch or we'll practice swings, and I watch her swing and I say how she might be able to fix it. I don't know if I grew up playing baseball.
I think I barely.
Yeah, something like that.
Know. Yeah.
So I have an eye for try
Right.
this, try doing this. This kid, oh my god, she hit some dingers tonight.
Oh really?
So it was great because we went to practice and her swing's been good for a couple of weeks, but she's just having trouble connecting,
Oh, okay.
Went to the park today just before baseball and she was hitting like, probably 60-70% of the pitches I threw to her. And then she went up today. She was up twice. First time she hit it. It went foul, but she hit it. And then off the second pitch, she got a hit, made it to first, which was awesome.
Nice.
Second up, she hit a dinger, went to the grass, went to the outfield.
Wow.
And she got a double.
Cool.
It was really cool. It was really exciting.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's awesome.
So like little things, but man, like to be able to, and it's not even so much that she did it, it's seeing the growth in her, right?
Yeah.
And so afterwards we have this conversation about like, man, that was awesome. Like you did that because we practiced so hard, right?
Yeah.
Like it's cool to put in that knowledge of this is not something that's necessarily an innate skill. This is not something that you are born with, but you get better by practicing.
To do it. Yeah. You just practice it.
Which is really cool.
It's a good
yeah, I was excited about that.
That's really cool. Similarly, starting to learn how to swim on her own over the course of like literally an hour or two. The difference was huge.
Yours?
With floaters on.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I was like, wow.
Well, that's a big one for Jane this year too. Like she's swimming on her own without any water wings, or like she's jumping into the deep end and swimming around. It's awesome.
Good. It's really good. That's important.
Your kid will get there. You got to be able to swim.
Yeah, you have to. You still hear people that can't swim nowadays. I'm like, how do you, like,
dude,
what?
At work, okay, we have we'll have swimming lessons or pool day, or we'll go to Wild Waterworks or something. No joke. I will say 50% of all kids I teach cannot swim.
Wow.
50%.
That's bad.
And it could be, where I teach.
Yeah.
I think that there's a definite connection between your ability to swim and maybe your home life situation.
Yep. No, I'm sure.
Your socioeconomic level, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, yeah, less rare than you think, or more common than you think. Yeah. Playing. I got a board game recommendation.
Oh yeah.
Do you know there's a place in Jackson Square that sells board games, like a board game shop?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know that.
And I didn't know that either, but we were down at the art gallery the other day, and the we stopped at Jackson Square and saw there's this board game place. And I asked the guy, I'm like, oh, you guys been open? Like, you just opened? He's like, no, we've been here like 4 years. I was like, oh, shit. Shows you how much I go down there, right?
Yeah, really.
But I asked the kid, I said, you want to pick a game? Because she likes to play games. There's a couple of board games she likes. So there was like a kid section. I was like, you want to pick something? She's like, all right. And so she chose this game. It's a card game that comes in a cool little tin called Sushi Go. I will recommend this game to anyone of any age. It's so fun.
Cool.
The rules are very simple. Can I explain it real quick?
Yes, please. I want to hear.
So we always play with 3 people, right? But you can play with 2 to 4. I played with 2 with my wife once, and it wasn't that fun. 4 would be amazing. 3 is also amazing. So I would say, 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Let me explain the 3 people rules. It's just different cards that you get. But the idea is that you start with a hand of 9 cards.
Yeah.
And the cards all have different like types of sushi on them, which I can explain briefly in a second. But the what you're trying to do is build a hand for the end of the round, right?
Okay.
So everybody starts
like
with
Mahjong.
9. Kind of. So you score based on your hand at the end, right? And then you have 3 rounds, and at the end of 3 rounds, you sum up those 3, and then you're done. Right? Whoever has the highest score wins. Okay. The cool way how it works is that you start with 9 cards. You take the 1 card that you want for your hand, or for like your score, and then everyone rotates their cards. Like, you give the next person your whole hand, and then they take a card, and then you rotate again, and then they take a card, and you rotate again. Weird. And so you know what all the hands are and what's there, and you have to build your score. But it's dependent on, like, you must have these. You must have 3 of these for a set of them. You must have, these increase by each one that you take. Like, there's different sushi does different things, and so you're kind of gambling. Can I get the full set of this without someone else
knowing it, or
and people know, or just stopping you taking it just so you can't finish the set, right?
Right.
It's hilarious. It's so good. It's really, really fun. And so, you make your decision. We count 1, 2, 3, and we all turn our cards over because you play them face up. So you know what everybody has, and you can kind of deduct what they're trying to play, what they're trying to go for.
Right.
But, you have to kind of think, is it worth screwing myself out of taking a card to stop this guy from getting his set,
Weird. So yeah, you take a new card, and then you give your hand over to, you take a card from someone else.
You take a card from your hand that you're currently
holding.
One
of your 9.
And
give
then
the
you
other
pass
8
it on.
away.
And now I take one of the 8 that, the person on my right just played.
Oh.
And then I pass it on again, and then I take one of 7 cards, and I pass it on again, take one of 6 cards. So everybody's taking 1 card from whatever hand they currently have each turn.
Oh, but the hand switches.
Yeah, but you know what all 3 hands have after you received all 3, and so you're trying to remember whether it's come or how many of something are in it. So you're trying to memorize like 27 cards each game, right?
That's cool.
It's really, really fun. And it always ends up being super close. It never feels cheap. There's some level of luck involved, but there's also definitely strategy. So yeah, Sushi Go. Give it a shot if you'd like.
Neat. Speaking of card games, there was a big Binding of Isaac card game that the guy kickstarted and was hugely successful.
Like a physical game?
It's physical, like 4-player versus game. Supposedly, like, he's been going crazy over the mechanics, explaining them on Twitter. Like, I'm not super interested in it. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the game, but a card version just doesn't. I don't know. It's a totally different thing to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it looks like a nice little package, and he put a lot of work into it, and it got a lot of people bought copies of it. So yeah, apparently the mechanics are kind of pretty well thought out and pretty interesting. So maybe that'll be available at some point. And right now it's just Kickstarter only, so orders only kind of thing. But yeah, kind of
cards.
Cool. Yeah, man, cards.
We kind of got out of playing board games a little bit. But then, now that the kid's starting to be interested in it, hell yes, I'll play.
Yeah, man.
Right? I think there's huge benefit in a kid learning strategy.
Oh yeah. Like I've been watching one of the guys on Twitch that I watch once in a while. when I'm too tired in the evening. And he's been playing a lot of what's it called? Slay the Spire, that roguelike kind of card deck building game. I was like, I want to play again. So I like fired it up again and played like 10, 12 runs. It keeps getting better. It's super compelling. Like I hope they add another character class, but right the way it is now, like it's a lot of fun. The music's really good. The animations, like it has very distinct style, and it just keeps pulling me back every so often, which is a good sign. Like the fact that I've started it for a while, put it down, a month later, play it again. Like it's one of those things I keep coming back to when I'm in the mood for that little like sort of like, I see the strategies people who are really good at the game start thinking of and implementing. I'm like, holy crap, like I don't do any of that. So, you start to go, I'm going to do a run and like kind of think in that way and plan in that way and think a little more carefully about which cards I'm taking. Because what you do is like you have a fight, with the monster, and you'll get to pick between 1 out of 3 cards they'll present. Or you can take none if you don't want to add to your deck, which is also a strategy. So there's all these strategies. There's items you buy. You can buy cards or items that like change, like passives that do things. It's pretty wild. So it's probably the best example of like a deck building game out there right now, like a single player deck building game. Like I played that Card Quest game that's on Steam. I think we talked about that before. I think Keenan maybe mentioned it. I don't know if he mentioned it, but
I think I played. It's not called Card Quest, is it?
No, yeah, it's called Card Quest.
Oh, is that the game that I played? There's like a map.
Yeah, sort of, and there's different classes, and it's really like 8-bit kind of graphics.
Maybe not.
It's pretty good, but it's a little more puzzly. Like there's a little less variability in your deck. Like you don't have a lot of options. You just got to like puzzle things out based on your, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a little more rigid, and I didn't really like that as much. But it's certainly more of a puzzle game than based on, like, you can't RNG your way through Card Quest, whereas in Slay the Spire you can get really lucky and get a crazy hand like early on and just plow through everything like pretty easily if you play things right. So it's fun in that way too. Once in a while you get really broken runs in it. Yeah, I played a little bit of that, but
what game am I thinking of that's got like I think it's almost like a hex grid.
Hex grid.
And you move around and it's like cartoony.
Oh, that. Yeah. What the hell was that? We both got it at one point. Yeah, it's in my list. It crashed on me, and that just turned me right off that one time in the middle of a run, and it didn't save it. So I was like, fuck this.
What's that game
Because the devs didn't want people to like cheat the game or something, and I was like, why? So they didn't add a save system. Yeah, what is it called? Let me see if I
looking through my games, but I can't find it.
Recent stuff on Steam. I'll tell you what it is in a second, but probably it is called Loot Rascals.
Loot Rascals.
That's the exact one.
It's in my my uninstalled folder on Steam.
It's okay. Slay the Spire makes it look like a piece of crap. Like Slay the Spire is way more interesting and fun. Even for the way
a giant piece of shit.
Even just the, I don't know, just the art style and the vibe that Slay the Spire has. There's nothing like it. There's no other game I can think of that looks and sounds like it. It's good. Good stuff.
Magical.
It is. It's good. Speaking of magical, other game I've been playing for the last friggin' 3 weeks.
Okay, now hold on. Let's give it a second.
Yeah.
We'll come to that. I have a Steam question.
Yeah.
I got a notification. There's a game in my wish list on sale. There's only 3 games in my wish list now.
Oh, wow. You pared it down. I did a bit of that, but
I got rid of everything. And even the ones that are here, I'm like, Yeah. One of them is Wallpaper Engine.
Okay, I never heard of that.
It's not a game. It's like dynamic wallpapers.
Oh, okay.
Like for your desktop, but it looks cool as shit. I don't know.
Never mind. I'll look it up.
Iconoclasts. You play this?
I haven't.
Is it good?
I played a bit of it, and then something else came up and pulled me away from it. But it seems pretty good so far. It reminds me a bit of like, it's got a bit of Metroidvania. It's got a bit of like a very mechanic-driven sort of action RPG, like with a wrench and stuff. Like it feels the bosses are pretty cool. I don't know.
I'll check it out eventually.
It's very well designed. Like it looks great too.
Yeah. And then, but there's a game that's on sale right now called Copy Kitty. Have you heard of Copy Kitty?
No.
I think it looks like Mega Man. But the thing about it is that you can, like Kirby, copy like the special abilities of an enemy.
Yeah.
But you can combine up to 3 of them to make like a super weapon.
It's got a weird art style, dude.
Well, yeah, it's like amateurish as shit.
It's like 3D, like 2D action platform,
like
characters,
like Battle Network, Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
But it's like the character designs are like the most amateurish.
Yeah, they are.
And no shade to the dude that developed this thing, because
the bosses look. I mean, it's very distinct,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
this kind of looks cool.
And it's on sale, and I'm going back and forth on it.
How much is it?
$11.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, there's a lot of numbers, crazy attacks, like a lot of shit happening on the screen.
I just don't know if I'm gonna play it though. Is a
problem. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, just leave it in there, and you'll get to it.
Eventually, I'll get to it. You're right.
Speaking of stuff in your Steam wish list.
Now, in your wish list or in Steam?
Well, in wish list. It's on Steam.
Are you trying to? Okay, what's that?
You know our buddy Zachtronic, right? Zachtronics.
Our buddy. I think his games are
my buddy. Benzen. Dude pumps a game out less than one a year at least. He just put something new out called Exapunks. It's like a hacker programming game. It's probably similar to Shenzhen in a way. People like you I don't know. It's my crack. Like I am gonna buy it next and play that, because once I'm done with what I'm currently doing, the art style is almost, I would say, even more impressive than Shenzhen. Like, it's very slick. It does the whole PDF manual thing again. I'm in love. Apparently the music's quite good as well, because the Disaster Piece guy did the music for this one. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That's for sure. Nothing else on my wish list is really out yet. Did you know that there was a super hot sort of sequel roguelike they're doing? You know about that?
No.
It's called Mind Control Delete. They're making like a roguelike-y kind of sequel. Yeah, it looks cool. They're adding a lot of neat shit in it, but it's still early access, so I'm still...
Tell me when it's on PS4.
Yeah, still waiting. But everything else. My friend Pedro's not going to be... There's not even a release date for that. This is cool. Have you ever heard of Hypnospace Outlaw?
I haven't heard any of these games.
Hypnospace Outlaw. Watch a trailer for that on Steam. See if that's not something you would buy straight up.
Remind me after. I'm not gonna do it now.
It's like an alternate reality version of like an internet browser desktop that's somehow a puzzle game, and you're just browsing like an 80s or 90s style internet on a fake desktop with fake pages, but it's some sort of a game. I don't know anything about it. I watched a trailer and was immediately excited for this thing. So I don't know what it is. It feels like one of those games that it'll blow up if it's doing something really cool, but no one will actually know until they've actually like played through it. Like it feels like a game that's hiding something, maybe.
Like Frog Fractions?
Yeah.
Is it Frog Fractions 3?
You know what I mean? It feels like it could be something like that. So that kind of gets me excited. Fake desktops, and that gets me hard, man.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Steam games.
Yep.
I'm like the worst PC gamer ever. I have zero interest.
I know.
Do you know, for me, really... I'm stuck in the past, right? Like, the only thing I see value in is physical games, and then all digital is just throwaway trash. Like, if I can't get it on physical, then I don't give a fuck.
I hate physical because then I got to put it in my thing, and like...
Yeah, but you don't own anything.
It's annoying.
You don't own shit.
Hey, yeah, I do. I have Octopath. So this is what I do.
No. You have Octopath. That's fine. But I'm talking like when you have something digital, you don't own anything. There's nothing to have.
I don't care. I know you like to play the buy-sell game. That's why, right?
Yeah. So well, no, that's a part of it. But another part of it is just like the sense of ownership that comes from
meta game.
I know the game that you want to get to, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We can talk about some other stuff too.
I have 2 games that I've been playing. Do you know Picross S2 came out at the start of the month?
There's an S now, an S2.
Yeah, for Switch.
Oh,
He is
what is the
the
S for?
Switch, I guess.
Okay. Now,
Um,
I know you love talking about Picross games, but I feel like every time it says, "Yep, it's Picross," I played every puzzle in like 24 hours.
yeah,
Is that going to be his
that's kind of where I am with this one. Like, not that I've played them. There's like a fucking ton of puzzles.
Oh, cool.
But I don't even know what the pictures are when I finish because I just okay, next puzzle. Like, I don't know, like it's going through the motions of it. Huh?
Flip Picross. Is that just another variation on making a big Picross out of smaller Picrosses?
What's what?
Clip Picross is a new
mode.
mode.
It's just like a whole bunch of them make a picture.
Oh.
Make a big picture.
I want to do a Picross where it's a Picross within a Picross, but that you actually move the pictures around somehow in a Picross fashion to make another picture.
Yep, do it.
But the whole game is a giant picture.
Develop that.
And a meta game. That's like final.
Apparently,
puzzle.
I haven't played. I missed out on Picross E8.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's like a super mega one in that's like ridiculous big.
Oh yeah. Maybe there's one in this then.
Maybe no, there's not. Unless it's hidden. I don't buy
I always like Mega Picross. That was actually my favorite. I felt like it was an evolution.
Yeah,
of things in a way that I liked.
Is that, yes, I agree that Mega Picross is more fun than regular Picross at this point.
Yeah,
but like I tear us through that too now.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I really liked it at the beginning because it's new and like this is crazy. This is new Picross.
Yeah.
But now like okay, I got it.
Yeah,
You'd like burn through these now too. Again, not that it's bad. I'll still buy Picross S3 when it comes out.
I know you will.
It just it's it's a 3-star game now instead of a 5-star game.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
And
we'll see if they can evolve it even further. Who knows?
Keep pumping out those expansion packs. Actually, the one thing that they have changed in the S series that they haven't had in the other ones is that it's multiplayer.
Oh, you can play versus.
Yeah, but it's on the same puzzle, and what it does is it keeps track of how many you've like burned off.
Oh yeah.
So I guess it's the person who can get the most of them, but I haven't tried that yet.
Oh, neat.
So that's one game I played. The other one I don't want to talk a lot about, but I've been back and forth on Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, since its release.
Oh, I didn't know you ended up picking it up. I remember you were sort of humming and hawing about it.
It's on sale at Best Buy for $20 this week.
Oh yeah.
And for a $20, yeah, I'll do that.
Sure.
So I drove over and I picked up a physical copy.
Yeah.
And I played maybe like 10 hours. I'm already bored of it.
It doesn't have a bunch of quality of life like sped up shit and
so it's got ×2 speed and ×4 speed, and you can turn it on and off with L1, which is like fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like for grinding, it's ridiculous. It's so fun. The thing that completely turned me off, so I know Zodiac Age had like an added job system,
right?
But it doesn't. What it has is you choose your class like you did in the original one.
Right.
And then all it is with this is that at the point in the game where I am just past, you get to pick a second class.
Yeah.
But you don't switch between them. You just have the skills from both.
At the same time?
But there's nothing.
You can mix and match or no?
Yeah. You can use all the skills from both of the classes at all times.
Oh, okay.
But you can't switch them once you've picked. Like you're locked into those two.
You wanted every class for everybody at like total freeform or
either that or
there's gotta be a way. Maybe you unlock it later.
No, you don't. That's it.
Oh.
And once you choose, it's locked. Like you can't be like, oh, I made a mistake. Like that's it.
Right.
The thing that bothers me though is that I feel like there's not enough variation between classes. Like they don't really have special skills that only that class can do. It's just what spells and techniques are accessible to that class.
Oh, okay.
And then the spells and techniques are like shared between classes. And so now I have this like muddy mix of characters that can use a bunch of spells, but
it's not distinct.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like I guess what I wanted was something like Final Fantasy X-2.
Oh, okay.
Like,
right.
The dress sphere thing where like I want to change class mid battle and have like their outfit change based on what class I am.
Yeah. I always thought that was cool, even though I never really played it.
Yeah.
I heard that was actually cool. And the music from X2 was the stuff that I've heard is really good.
Yeah, it's too bad the story and characters are shit.
And I just read recently that it's one of the craziest requirements for a true ending for any game ever.
I saw that thread too.
Did you? It's like stupid. I looked into it. I'm like, oh wow.
Busy 10-2 thing, but for me, and I went into that thread thinking
another game,
Drakengard 3.
Oh,
and it was like 20 posts down. Somebody got it. I was like, okay, good.
I don't know why. What's the ending for that? What's the true ending for that? So
Drakengard is you have like. There's like the timeline where you just play the game and you beat it, but then there's branching timelines off of like different stages and different like files that you have to play. And it's essentially grinding the same level over and over and over again with different like win states. Right. So like you got to do this in less than 3 minutes. You got to do this in whatever. You got to do this one like this. Okay. And then once that's all done, you also have to grind out all of the weapons. Like you have to have every weapon in the game. And then the very end of the game, spoilers for Drakengard 3 on PlayStation 3.
Our spoilers are the best. You know it, right?
Yeah. Like for games that nobody's played or played like
or
10
heard
years
of.
ago. Yeah, or heard of. The final boss is like a rhythm thing.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that.
And it's total bullshit because part of it towards the end, the audio cuts out and you have to do it just based on visuals. And then there's another part.
It?
It's friggin' what's his face?
The guy
was it Cavia at that time?
Which guy?
It's
the one that made that
Access Games, but yeah, it's Yoko Taro.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't Access Games before. It was something different.
Something else.
Yeah, Cavia was the original one.
Oh, okay.
And then Cavia, I guess, went under, and Access Games is what came out of that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's got a lot of like the branching, alternate timeline, like perspective stuff that Nier has.
Yes.
Only like to an extreme degree.
Right. Yeah. But preceding Nier, right?
Yeah. Well, preceding Nier Automata, but
after Nier?
Proceeding the first Nier. It's, you know what, I liked it a lot. I thought Drakengard 3 was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I know that it got very mixed reviews.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Games like that need to have a fun core loop, and then I don't mind.
Yeah, and I felt that it did. I really enjoyed it. I thought the characters, you know what I really appreciated about games is that you're just thrown into the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like, here's a bunch of shit. Like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, this story is bananas.
Yeah.
Like, I think what I got from it is that you play a girl named Zero. I don't know if she's, God or... I get this
I don't know if she's God or not.
It's some kind of...
Keep going.
They're, like, super powerful, right? Yeah. Like, they're not regular humans.
Yeah. What's new with Japan?
What are they called? I forget. But there's something about music.
I'm sure it's a distinct term no one else has used.
I'm sure it is. But they have some kind of like god level powers. Like, but I think there's also regular humans.
Do they look like teenagers?
Older teenagers, maybe like in maybe 20s.
Okay. Older teenagers that are in their 20s.
No, or in their 20s.
Yeah.
And so you play the main character is Zero, and then the whole thing of the game is you have to kill your 5 sisters, and their names are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Of course.
And there's a dragon who's your partner, but this dragon's like a super wimp kind of archetype that's like complaining about things all the time. Right. It's really weird.
Yeah, and there's babies in it, giant babies or something, right?
That's in the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Drakengard 1 has like weird baby stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember any in this one, but yeah, it's cool. I dig it. Look for it, Drakengard 3.
Well, hey, you know what? I mean, this is why Death Stranding is going to be great because it's going to have this kind of weird shit in it too.
But I don't want it explained though. I like it as it is now. Don't
play it.
No, but you know what I mean. I don't want these like overly complicated.
You know what? I mean,
like
if it's like Metal Gear, yeah, like you're still gonna not know what the hell's going on by the end of it.
Good. But that's what I want, right?
Yeah.
Like you think about Metal Gear, I think about like what's her name? Fortune.
Yeah.
No, Nanomachines is the one that got too much. Fortune was in what, 3.
Yeah.
And how like you know, you're shooting rockets at her and they're just completely whiffing past her because of her luck, right?
Yeah.
Don't explain that. That's good enough. She's lucky.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't need a narrative. I don't need her backstory for it. Just she's lucky. Great.
Yeah. All you need is Snake going on the radio and asking friggin' what's his name?
Mei Ling.
No, not Mei Ling. In 3, it was the black guy, Sigint or whatever. Sigint. Yeah, I'd be like, their conversations are amazing.
Yeah.
In the middle of a boss fight, he's but
it's the same reason that I like No More Heroes or Grasshopper games in general, right? Like, give me some bullshit. That's all I want. I don't want explanations for things. I don't want, and I mean, that's the reason why I didn't like Persona 5 and 4 to a lesser extent.
Oh yeah, they explained
Persona 5 just like explain everything multiple times and in like such incredible depth. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I want a dungeon crawl. I don't care about the story. Give me like a general, okay, here's what we're doing. Great, let's go.
Shin Megami Tensei is the series
Nocturne.
And that whole genre, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of like wizardry space stuff, like I listened to Retronauts interview the guy who made Wizardry.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty cool. Like, interesting to hear that guy talk about all that shit. It was pretty wild.
I like the idea of wizardry more.
And he formed some anime translation company in the 80s. That's pretty big. I can't remember the name of it. He was one of the first people to like translate and publish like VHS tapes here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same dude.
I can't remember. Like, there's a whole bunch of names. There's a whole bunch of Animago.
Yeah, I think so.
It was like one.
He's the guy that made friggin' Wizardry. Yeah, it's crazy.
Animago was who's the guy that did all the work for them?
Those games only ever come out of Japan now. Those type of games.
The like dungeon crawler stuff.
Yeah, we just don't, I mean, although, wait, there was that one that came out here that we really liked, The Legend of
There's 2 of them.
Grimrock.
Grimrock, yeah.
Yeah, those were quite good. I liked both of them. Bit more action-y, though. No RPGs to it.
Was his name Robert Woodhead?
I think so.
That's not who I thought it was.
I think it was. Might be. I don't remember the name. Speaking of games that don't explain anything and... I don't know if you want to get into this yet.
Yeah, man, I don't think.
Oh my god! Well, you guys played a lot of Monster Hunter, so you could talk about that. I didn't play any because I was too busy playing.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes for Monster Hunter then.
Okay.
The Behemoth fight is amazing.
Is it?
It's so good.
Okay.
One of the things that I really
just let me interrupt you for a sec. So it's probably, considering how many sales they just made in PC, we're going to be seeing some good shit from them in the future, I think, Ben, right?
So I've been reading a bunch of stuff because did you hear that Monster Hunter World sold over 10 million copies now?
I did.
Which is fucking bananas. Like, what timeline do we live in when Monster Hunter game sells 10 million
not
copies?
The worst timeline?
So I'm sure that it took them by surprise.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, holy shit, we don't know what to do now, right? Like, expecting it to be a moderate success. And then, re-release a G rank version, like Extreme, whatever.
You think so, eh?
Well, no, they won't now because they have the game there. Like, drop like a $30-$40 expansion. People buy it. I'd buy it. Hardly, right?
Yep.
And so this Behemoth thing was a crossover with Final Fantasy 11.
Yes.
Sorry, 14. 11's the old MMO. 14, have you ever done
Well, it's like raid boss thing, right?
Yeah. Have you done any raid bosses in any MMO?
A little bit, maybe in World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Once upon a time, but not.
It's a raid boss.
Yeah.
That's what's so fun about it, is that if there was some way to have an MMO that played like Monster Hunter, like it's instead of this queue system where you hit one and then your cast bar goes up.
Yeah.
And then,
you're actually
like this is an action MMO, right?
Yeah.
And I know that they've tried to do that in the past. Different companies have tried to do
something like have.
But it's so good. Like, it changes the digits that come off them, like the damage that you're doing.
Yeah.
It changes the font to Final Fantasy 14 font.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah. When you get crits, it has an exclamation mark after it, which is the same as Final Fantasy.
Cool.
When you do special moves on them,
Yeah.
It says the name of the move like in the text above the attack damage.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man, it's amazing.
Oh
It's
my
so
god.
good. Like the HUD has changed a little bit, and that it gives you like warnings of what's happening. It'll say like Behemoth starts casting
That's
whatever.
cool.
Like it's so cool.
So do you think like maybe this is the peak, or like are they going to give us? They got to give us something like this now. They like it may not be like raid bosses, but I wonder just because it's a collab, like they just went all out.
Collab because you think about like say like the you know the Mega Man what are they called? The Mega Man Arena Quest. Did you do those? Where it plays like 8-bit Mega Man music when you're fighting them, and it does like like it does the intro music when when you start the fight. Like that's all just collaboration stuff, right?
Yeah.
But Behemoth is really fun. Like it's you know, don't stand in the fire. You got to stand behind this when you cast a spell.
Right.
You know, if you get this debuff, you run away from the group. Like it's really cool.
That's amazing.
It's so fun. The part that I got really frustrated with is that I am good with it. You know, I play a lot of Monster Hunter. I don't die very often.
Yeah.
In a group of 4 though, that's not guaranteed.
No.
And I had a really rotten string of bad luck of people that just could not get their shit together.
I was reading, I was like, wow, Chris is probably pissed right now.
So frustrating. Like I think, you know, in like probably 20 runs that I did, like I died maybe once out of those 20 runs. And it's just, I can't beat this because of other people.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating. I get it. You know, if I really wanted to, I could go online and find like some group of super people to do it. When we did do it, I had somebody that I was playing with for a little while. Just some rando that was really good. So I invited him to a party, and then Jackie and Ryan both came on and we did it.
Cool.
But yeah, it's fun. It's really
all right.
Cool.
Well, I mean, I guess I should be expecting good things because even the last big thing was great, right? What's her face? The big gold. That was even
cool
really cool.
Taroth.
Yeah, like that was really cool. Even for like it's a free DLC, and that's like
bananas.
So
fun.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Think about how much that what's his face Pickle has put into that game. How come I can't remember that guy's name? Devil Joe.
How much he has put into the game?
Yeah, like how much he's added to like the atmosphere, the tone of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like I less so for Lunastra, I think. I was kind of bored of that one really quick. But it's so cool, like the idea that, you know, keep giving me stuff, build up goodwill. Don't do Monster Hunter World Extreme or whatever.
Right.
Like just release it as like a $40 content DLC. And I think so many people would buy it.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, they got to do that. There's no question. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Also good.
Great. Good to hear. I'm excited because I've had no desire to play anything else other than La Mulana 2. This game, do you know my counter reset back to 000 because I had it on so long? Not even playing 100 hours, but probably close to 60 hours. It sucks because I broke down late at night, like maybe one time because I was frustrated. And so I went into this game expecting not to look anything up, okay? Not to look up any hints, figure it all myself. However, the game bugged out a couple times on me in ways that I wasn't sure were bugs. And then later found out were bugs. So I was worried at different times later when, you know, when you're stuck, you're like, is the game bugged? Did I lock? Like, I heard stories of people playing like 20 hours and then getting screwed. So I was like, is this, and then, you know, late at night and I was kind of tired, but I want to make progress because it's been 2 hours of me like hunting around trying to find the next thing. And I should probably preface this by saying what the hell I'm talking about. So La Mulana 2 is a sequel to a game called La Mulana, which is like it's an old freeware game a guy made a long time ago that was supposed to look like an MSX game, based on like similar to what are those games? Maze of Gallius. It's sort of like a 2D side scroller where you're backtracking through multiple locations. Every room has usually like a puzzle in it, but they're really cryptic, and you know, move this over here, stand over here, crouch over here, kill monsters in this order, like weird stuff that you need to figure out based on clues. And this one is a sequel to the first one, which is essentially an Indiana Jones themed action Metroidvania. Which I would say, like, the thing about La Milana that I love the most is like the things that I love about Metroidvanias that are really good. Like the times when you're kind of like backtracking, trying to figure out what to do next, and then you get that eureka moment. Like Super Metroid's big one is the Meridian one, where you figure out how to get into Meridia through the big tube. Or like Symphony of the Night probably has a bunch of them too. But like La Milana is just packed with that. Like it's so dense. Every screen probably has a puzzle on it. And so this is one of my favorite games. Like you and I played it when it came out, or a little while after it came out. They're kind of remake from the ground up. And I remember
not the original one, because I bought the original one for because it came out for Wii.
Oh yeah, the remake, yeah.
No, the old one didn't it?
Oh, the old one, the old graphics one.
Yeah, for Wii.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then I played it just for a few minutes, and I was like,
I had no idea.
Fucking terrible. Like I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it's super hard. Because like, who thought anyone would make a game that hard, right? Like, I don't know of another game that's this hard in terms of puzzles. Like, so anyway, Milana. The problem with Milana 1 is that some of the stuff is so cryptic that you like will probably never figure it out on your own. I think like the cool thing about Milana is that everyone will figure out some of the puzzles. But to be one person figuring out everything is really difficult. Like you'll hit something that'll just be your blind spot and you won't know what to do. So fast forward 5 years, Kickstarter successful, finally comes out, announces a week before that it's coming out finally and launching like in a week, which is really cool. So this is like Christmas for me, like when this game coming out. I loved everything about the first one except for like the frustrations. And they said, we're gonna make it a little less unfair, which they did. So yeah, I've been putting a lot of time into this thing. I think I'm probably 70%, 80% of the way through, like the last 10, 20% in terms of bosses. Like my item screen's almost felt full. So yeah, I had to spoil myself like once, or I didn't have to, but I did because I was like sort of tired and I could have figured it out. It was stupid. I was just tired. And it was a good meta puzzle that I kind of blew. But I figured out a bunch of really hard, cool stuff on my own, so I feel like okay about it. There was one thing. There was one thing that was legitimately like I would have never figured that out because it was just a total blind spot, and I probably would have never checked it again, kind of thing. And it was one of those things where like had I remembered the basic La Milana rules, it probably would have been okay, but I just kind of forgot them. Like one of the rules is if you see a chest in a room, there's a way to open it. That's like near 100% of the time, probably 100% of the time. And I forgot that rule. And I just like, oh, there's a chest in that room. I don't know how to get it. I can't figure it out. And I was like, sure, there was a way to do it. I can figure it out. The other thing was a boss that I got to, a mini boss. I don't know how long you played. Did you remember the mini boss with the ice blocks?
Yeah, I beat it so easy.
So that was I just totally blanked on it. I was like, I can't hit this thing. I can't kill it. Right?
Like almost right away as soon as I walked in, I was like, okay.
Figured it out. Yeah. Totally didn't. I got 20 hours past there and I hadn't done that yet. I had like so much other stuff done. And it was like, I thought that I had to get an item to damage that guy. So it was a total mental. I assumed something, which wasn't true, but I assumed that you can hit all bosses with your weapons somehow. Right? Except then there was a boss later where it's like you need this item to damage him. Like it tells you pretty much. I was like, oh, it's just another version of that boss. So I never tried it again. And I was like, finally, I can't remember what I did, but I found out through looking at something that, oh yeah, that's how you kill that boss. I just wanted to find out what order, if I had done things out of order, and that was one of the things. So I was like, shit. And I knew I would have never gotten it. I just knew it. It's just like one of those things I could see people would figure it out either right away or never. But yeah, anyway, so that was one of my big stumbling blocks. I don't know if you finish it or not.
If I finished it?
Yeah.
No, I got stuck like shortly after I was talking to you about where I was. Like I feel like I'm not smart enough to play this game.
You are. It's like just one of those things.
I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, it is. It's totally like
shit. Like I just want to
I know.
Run around and hit stuff with my whip.
I have 2 pages of notes for this game, double-sided with maps and stuff already. Like I had to resort to that as well. Like you cannot play this game without taking notes on paper, which is part of the fun, right? Like it's one of those things. Like I would say, wait a month so it's completely patched because there's still some issues with some things, weird bugs happening. If anyone out there is interested in playing a game like this, because like I'm sure you get a feel for what it's like just hearing us talk about it. If you're in the mood for digging into something deep and you want to play good Metroidvania, this is the game. Like, there's nothing comparable.
Give me an example of like some glitch thing that's happening.
Me? Oh, so okay, one of the areas of the map is Immortal Battlefield. Yeah. I randomly came there, and the background was all like purpley and swirly, and everything was frozen. And I went through the whole area, and nothing was moving, like it was time stopped. I was like, okay. What's that?
What's the problem? That's awesome.
It was awesome, but I was like, is this a glitch? I don't know. And then it just randomly went away. I was like, okay. And it's the same effect as the time stop item, but it was just permanent. And then sequence broke apart with the grappling, the wall grabber thing. There's this thing you could do. They haven't completely, like, there's stuff I did by accident. Like, I thought I had to do it, and I didn't. Not that it wrecked the game or anything, but, like, I could have easily done that. I could have easily. And then now, like, I was playing again, I went back to a boss room. You know, the big cow boss? His thing came back, and I could fight him again if I wanted to. But if I do it, it'll waste one of my onks, and then I won't be able to finish the game.
Oh, I see.
So I was like, I'm going to leave this room and never come back. So just like it needs another major patch. This is such a complex game. But I figured out one of the huge meta puzzles in it like yesterday, and it felt super good. So there's still a lot there. It's a cool game. And like I had 2 copies, so I was happy to give you a copy. And
yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So it's good. I'm hoping to finish it by in a week. I don't know, but so I can move on to other things like what's it called? I'm super excited for something else that's coming up soon. This Firewall Zero Hour, this VR game, sort of like a 4v4 Counter-Strike.
Very
aim controller compatible, built around aim controller. I'm thinking of picking it up.
You buy one? No.
Well, it's going to come with it, so it'll be a lot cheaper to buy one because you can't find aim controllers right now at all. No, it's so hard to get one. So it's coming out August 28th, I think, 27th. So I'll be excited for that. And one other thing that I was super pumped about was they finally released footage for the new Doom game. It's going to launch on PS4, PC, and Switch simultaneously, which I was surprised to hear Switch was getting a launch.
PSVR?
No, that'd be amazing. But it looks awesome, dude. Like, I know you weren't. I don't think you played too much of Doom, but
when I was a kid, I did. The new Doom, no.
No, it looks like they're just ramping it up even more. Like, same music by the same dude, adding a lot more. They're doing cool stuff in this one where, like, some of the big enemies you fight, like, they're bringing back a lot of classic stuff from, like, the Doom sequels. But a lot of the big enemies you fight in this one now, you can, like, there's, like, functional battle damage. So, like, those, like, I don't know what the hell they are, those spider brain tank things, those mecha whatevers. Yep. You can, like, blow off their turret, and they'll revert to other attacks if you do that. Like, there are different ways to take enemies out in this one, as opposed to just pumping them full of damage and then they die. So there's, like, strategy to taking them apart piece by piece. So it plays into the whole, like, controlled chaos thing. So they're basically, like, doubling down on that concept for the next one, which I really liked from the previous game. Like, the whole, like, trying to manage different enemies and kind of like chess. Like, you've got all these enemies in a big room and you're trying to juggle them and kill them with different weapons and not get hit. So they're adding more to that. So there's, like, a grappling hook move with a shotgun. There's, like, a over the shoulder cannon. It's, like, looks really cool. There's, like, a 10-minute gameplay demo that's kind of like a trailer almost, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, some good stuff coming out. I don't know if there's anything else you're excited about for VR or otherwise.
You know what? I canceled Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Wow. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, but I didn't. It wasn't for that reason.
No.
I don't know. I feel like I got other shit to do. Mm-hmm. And that sounds awful. That's not me being, like, dismissive of video games, say video games suck, whatever. I don't know. I'm not
Dragon Quest, right? It's
Dragon
like
Quest, but I also canceled Yakuza Kiwami 2.
Oh.
I feel like I have already played Dragon Quest and I have already played Yakuza. Is that fair?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I really like both
so
series.
Many sequels, right? You can.
I like both series. I want to support both series.
Well, yeah, like if you told me Milana 3 was available right now after Milana 2, do you think I'd want to play it right now?
Yeah,
I don't know if I would right away.
Yes,
I really don't think I would.
You would.
I don't think so. I'm pretty tired now. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to finish it. Like, it's great.
Nice. It's funny the way you say that because I also really enjoy that game. I have a lot of fun with it. I don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah, like it's a bit long.
Does that make sense? Like I like it.
I want to play something totally different once I'm done this. Like I reinstalled StarCraft 2. I'm thinking of like actually playing through the whole game now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to go through the story campaign, maybe even play a little online because I watch enough of it, right? Like I'm thinking of maybe playing a bit online. We'll see.
Do we? Am I buying Smash Brothers or what?
I don't think so. I'm not.
How sad is it that I live in a world where I don't want to play Smash Brothers?
Well, I mean, it's gonna. Well, it depends on how the online is too, right? Like I don't know.
If it make it easy, I never play online.
But maybe we would. I don't know. We probably would.
No, we wouldn't.
We played Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna buy it. Well, speaking of fighting games, though, like
no. Hold on. It's not. I don't think you're gonna buy it. It's I don't think you're gonna play it.
Play it, right? You're probably gonna buy it.
And that's what I'm struggling with because I know I'm not gonna really play it. I didn't play the other one hardly at all for Wii U.
You played more Dragon Ball Fighter Z, right?
Yeah. I still go back to it sometimes.
And that, do you know that got like this last EVO? Like it was by far the most popular game.
Yeah, because
I even watched the final. I watched the finals of it. It looked like it was kind of fun. I was like, this is cool. Like I could maybe see myself trying this at some point.
It's really fun.
Yeah. People were hyped. People were super hyped. In the chat, even like people were losing it, like watching people play this game. Yeah. And it's just very accessible, right? It's Dragon Ball. It looks awesome.
Accessible to watch. It's not very playing it is not very accessible.
Sure.
Which surprised me. I thought it was going to be, mash on buttons and you're fine. But
it feels like Marvel versus Capcom in a way, right? And somewhat.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really play the same. The way that you play it is so strange.
Is it really?
Like it doesn't feel, and maybe it's just like my style, my history with like fighting games.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like any other game that I've played before, and I really struggle to make it natural.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense? Like I don't feel like I'm playing it well.
Oh, I mean, people were using the same terms like hit confirm and like I was watching these guys play, these pro guys play. Sounded like there were similar concepts.
Oh yeah, no, and not to say that there's not. Mm-hmm. It just, I don't know what it is. Like it doesn't come out naturally for me.
Right.
Like, something like Marvel vs. Capcom, I would just I pick it up and I start playing and I'm like, hey, this feels good. And then I get better at it. Where with this, I pick it up and none of my characters are doing what I want them to do, even though I know how to do all the moves.
Right.
And it's not a matter of like accuracy. That's not it. It's not doing moves that's the problem. It's chaining those moves together into something that feels good. Mm-hmm. I always feel like I'm struggling to do something cool in that game.
Oh, interesting.
Which is funny because at the same time, everything you do in that game looks cool.
Looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. I just have this scary feeling like you haven't been recording this whole time. You have, right?
Yep. Okay. I double check all the time now.
Okay, good.
Like I check a couple times each episode just to make sure that it's still recording.
Public service announcement for anyone who cares is that, as I told you earlier, there's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure marathon on Twitch right now. It'll be going on for the next 2 weeks.
For teenagers.
Yep. And me. It's amazing. Anyway.
I wish I could get into it. I wish that I could.
You have to kind of be used to what Twitch chat is like. If you kind of are aware of that, then if you're not, then there's no like
I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Like I understand the draw. I don't like it.
Sure. But it was fun.
I wish I
Very
did.
fun today. Watching that a little bit briefly.
Yeah.
That's all I got to talk about.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
what's
good.
Keenan's? I don't know what he's doing today. You know what we could do is our friend of the show, Don.
Yeah.
He's got a new podcast up and started.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's called.
Is he the host?
Yeah, him and another guy. What's it called?
He ditched us.
He did ditch us, and he just started a video game podcast too.
Oh man.
You can check it out. I think
It'll
it's called
like our Bizarro universe version, Western games focused.
Yeah. That's gonna be nothing. It's called Gaming on 10 Minutes a Week, I think.
Oh.
So you can check that out if you get some time.
Cool. Maybe I will.
All right.
Maybe I'll join the podcast and then I'll leave.
Ditch me and
I'm just kidding.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
All
right, man.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get all three of us on next week, but it's tricky.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can.
Figure it out.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you later.
See you later.